I'm Irene Knott, Director of Code Services for BRR Architecture. I just got back from Louisville, Kentucky for the 2022 International Code Council's annual conference. As part of that conference, we have our annual business meeting and have election of officers for our board of directors. And sometimes we also have, in conjunction with that, our code development hearings. So earlier this year, we talked about elevator communication systems for new buildings. So now in the International Existing Building Code, if you modify the communication systems within the elevator, it's going to require that communication system comply with the building code and thus provide for people with hearing impairment or speech impairment to have the ability to effectively communicate. Another topic that we talked about earlier this year was occupied roofs. So now there's a code change for the International Existing Building Code that would require existing buildings that go through a modification that may now classify them as a high-rise to have the occupied roofs comply with the building code requirements, which kicks in the high-rise provisions. Another topic that created a lot of conversation at the hearings was about what happens when you put combustible products on the outside of a high-rise building. And the reason this was a hot topic is, for those of you that can remember a few years back, the Grenfell Tower fire in London back in 2017, the biggest reason that building experienced so much fire damage was there was combustible materials on the outside of the building, and the building didn't have a sprinkler system. So there was argument that went back and forth for and against the code change that lasted well over an hour. And what this code language is going to provide is if you put combustible materials on the outside of a high-rise building, the building itself must have a sprinkler system. So if you have an existing building that's a high-rise without a sprinkler system, the code's going to limit the amount of combustible materials you can put on the building. If you have any questions about this and the code development process, feel free to reach out to me directly or contact us at our website at brrarch.com.